Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
2 years ago in 2010. If anyone's seen that video of ours, every year is 2010. Go watch it. You'll see what we mean.
It's a good one.
They're all good.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking. The sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire in the
I
sun.
wonder if his tongue took a crap in his mouth.
Berries. Oh, berries.
The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again. There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
I really have to reiterate that. Apparently I felt that way. But yes, it always appears that only one person is sleeping in the bed, or only one person is ever dining at the table. There are never, indications that there have been two people. I think at the end of the game, there's even only just one pillow, so kind of makes you wonder, oh, there's a 2010 calendar. Kind of makes you wonder, what the real situation is.
You have one new message.
Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey!
Unintended.
You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. As she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
And I think that that's why Alice is able to be so patient with him, is that instead of getting upset at him, she goes off on Barry. And then she's like got it out of her system, and then, she's like able to kind of...
I'd been a guest on the talk show the previous night, talking about my latest book. The show was supposed to be waiting for me on our TiVo.
But anyway, then she's like better able to, kind of like deal with Alan when she finally is face to face with him. Like we'll see her pretty soon. Oh, honey, everything's okay.
Yeah, she's mad for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to kind of hear and see what it's like for her to be mad. Because they never show her really be angry in this.
They definitely definitely show Alan angry.
Yeah, well, she's pissed at Barry a lot. And so it's like his wife and his best friend, and they're pissed at each other all the time, and it's gotta be stressful.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Alex Show.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though, 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good, great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Oh, man. Well, that guy was really in my face. I lost my temper. I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the 2 of you out there who haven't bought it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. Once more, do the face for the Sam.
On a crack in the 5th wall.
Musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you.
At least I'd been funny. I told myself I could live with that. I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you gonna start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey.
Yep.
It's
Angry
almost
for 2
over,
seconds.
right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet. Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry,
Yeah,
take
he
her gun.
obviously doesn't need to.
Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
Good luck,
after
Al.
everything she's done. Like,
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
I like how the narrator Alan changes his voice to fit the part.
Alone, in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape, it was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
I guess that was my indication that people should look at the map. You really should. I'd be surprised what you find, where you can go, where you can't go. Somehow it's there anyway.
Clicker really must be magical to make it a warm and sunny day in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, well, I guess it just depends on what time of the year it is. But, yeah. But if, what comic is it? There's two comics after this. One of them, there's like Psycho Killer, and the other one is Night Springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that one they show like how the clicker supposedly actually did this, made it daytime.
Yeah.
And there's some other really fun stuff, and those definitely you should read those. Anyone who hasn't, I think they're downloadable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's very nice. Like the Sunstone.
Yes. The signs kind of changed now. Like there's no Pat Main isn't on the sign anymore. I don't think there's any more radio broadcasts after this either. I think like everything's just kind of done except for his last little stretch of this mission here.
Pays to explore.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's more that I just didn't get to, for the sake of not spending too much time messing around, for the gameplay. I suppose we could have cut those things out, but I was just trying to get it done. Awesome. I don't know why I just thought of this. It'd be like when he clicked the clicker, if it shut off all the lights in the well-lit room. Like, made it daytime, but like turned off all the lights in there.
Oh man, Cynthia Weaver would be freaking out.
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us, always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
I will kill your wife.
The dark presence was no longer trying to capture the writer so he could create the ending it wanted. The writer knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the writer from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
These cars. Oh my god. Oh, don't I actually like back into them? I think I do. Oh, for like a quick getaway, right? And then I think that I don't even need to because I like, there's like some taken or connecting. You have to jump over the ramp or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'll just back in for a quick getaway. There we go.
Based on the signature in the motel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
What the hell am I doing? I probably, that was, I don't know what that was. I doubt it meant anything.
This had obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
See the vent up there? It has all the papers in there.
Yeah.
Well, like, apparently it had all those pictures too in the Alan Wake files. That Clay Stewart stayed in that room and he found everything up there in that air vent. So, who put them in there? You know, if Nightingale's gone now and Clay Stewart apparently hasn't been there yet, then, you know, somebody had to have collected all those pictures and papers and put them in the air vent.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me.
No, it's one of those things again. Just come up here and accept your fate. Just. I should have just went like straight to the bridge, but like had to hit these guys.
Oh no, I did the same thing.
This is the part of the game that a lot of people really hate. I did it first too. But it's actually not that bad after you've done it a couple of times.
That was amazing.
I meant to do that. I should have taken a screenshot. See, like, that's the thing, is that I never, like, the first couple times, I didn't realize, oh, I should be using these, flashbangs, you know, like, dealt with light. I just thought I had to dodge everything. Like, coming after me. A refrigerator and a barrel. It's kind of beam.
Yeah, a tractor.
Everything is an enemy. Tires. Catches breath.
He's no marathon runner.
Not until American Nightmare. Then he's gotten better.
Yeah.
Still a marathon runner, but he can run a lot longer and faster. I know, this is not very exciting. I hate, like, if I have to run back over, like, getting injured by those things, because they're so dumb. They're just piles of, looks like motor oil.
Yeah, you can't be too careful.
And they hurt you. It's like, what? Just for running? I gotta run right now.
It's good to know.
You can learn about nature and yourself. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I never realized that. When am I going to learn about myself?
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The dark presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long-ago crashed airplane there, trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
So that's what makes the trash tornadoes. All the junk that ended up at the bottom of the lake, right?
Yeah, they just bring it all up and throw it out.
Mm-hmm. Or in the trailer park.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a sign that's here that says, like, no trespassing. I think I don't read it, but I think it's this one that says that, like, solicitors will be executed or something like that. But, like, I keep getting mixed up on this. Trespassers will be violated and solicitors will be executed.
No.
Something like that. Bunch of signs I forgot to read. They were not the most important ones, though. The most important ones are the ones that say, people died in Cauldron Lake in 1970, and then the other one says, they didn't die. Those are the important ones. Yeah, and elaborates a lot more in the Alan Wake files. That's such a great book. We need to do some more. We need to do some videos specific to the Alan Wake files.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely has a lot of good info in there.
It has good info about characters and about what happened according to, like, townspeople and stuff. Sure. But yeah, it's fun to hear from, like, the other characters in the town, like Stucky. There's articles from, like, when Stucky was a kid and stuff, or, like, you know, like a young guy, you know. Oh, what is that? On another calendar. Talking about the earthquake in 1970, and they're like, yeah, it's not like anyone died, you know, no one died. But yeah, then you get the information from the signs at the mine saying that all these, like, what was it, 30-something coal miners died and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, which one is it? And then it's like, okay, well, maybe it's both. You know, maybe there's two different realities, or who knows if maybe there's 20 different realities. We don't know.
Yeah.
We can only speculate. do redesign. There's not really a whole lot left to unpack in this part of the game. It's just Alan doing his thing, you know.
Running overtaken.
Huh?
Running overtaken.
Exactly. No, it was Alan trying to, you know, get to Alice or whatever he has to do, and he doesn't have any interactions. There's not a whole lot to really sit and ponder over at this point, you know, like, oh, why is this happening this way or that way? But I did find this game under survival horror.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Yes, but apparently it's not. It's a psychological thriller. Was it psychological action thriller, right? Take out the action part, just and then you have what it really is a psychological thriller, which is different from a horror game, of course. And what Sam, like I said, over the years, reiterated this is a psychological action thriller, not a survival horror, but they did it in such a way that it's more on the survival horror side.
Yeah.
So I could see where, you know, it's been miscategorized, you know, for the entire time it's been out, I guess.
At least they didn't call it a comedy.
Well, parts of it could be.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
And then you have, you know, the parts of the game where he talks about, like, Rose and Rusty and their history and, like, personal details that he shouldn't know anything about. So, you know, our narrator is also omniscient. He knows everything about everyone, about what their feelings are, their history, their past, whatever. So that's the thing to consider. I really want to do that. It's just that if you pick up the hunting rifle, they might not, you know, they might not give you the whatever they tell you to pick up. You should just pick it up because, like, say if you have the hunting rifle and you don't pick up the shotgun, then you probably won't get any ammo from the hunting rifle. This is kind of a nice part of the game because there's not too much talking going on. The whole rest of the game, it's like the narrator or Alan or someone else, and it's hard to get a word in.
Right.
I really was not too sure about this game. Like, seriously, teen rating.
Right, yeah.
I had never heard of it. And thought, well, I'll give it a try, just because I needed something to play. Just like, and I ended up loving it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing you did give it a try.
Mm-hmm. At least Alan can push the cart.
He just doesn't have any endurance.
Yeah.
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
Yep, Alan, it's gone. You messed up. You know what I oftentimes wonder?
Huh.
In Control, you know how the documents say that he wrote for Night Springs? Well, we know that because of American Nightmare. But
I could see Mirror Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, so he wrote that episode about the scientist and the director and everything.
Yeah.
And he wrote that before the FBC acquired that show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if his writing, some of that became real because when they acquired the rights to the show, they brought that show to the oldest house, which is a place of power, which maybe, like Cauldron Lake, a place of power, helped to bring reality to his stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just kind of a thought. His writing, a place of power. You would think that, possibly his writing had some kind of influence on that.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what would happen if Langston's pitches for Night Springs would come to life.
I wonder what that would be like. His writing about taking a stoplight out to dinner or the movies, right?
Yeah.
Langston is an interesting guy.
He is. I think Remedy needs to have a DLC where you play as his writings.
Yeah.
That would be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it would. I wonder what it would be like if I hadn't, like, had never tried, you know, never given Alan Wake a chance. With Alan Wake 2 coming out now, I wonder, like, how I would react. Like, if I would think, oh, this is a game I'd want to play, or if it's like, oh, well, I haven't played the first game, so, you know, I'm not going to understand it, you know, whatever, you know? And I don't know, I guess I imagine I probably would.
Tell you what, though, I'm glad that we got Alan Wake when we did, because we didn't have to wait very long for Alan Wake 2.
No, and you know what? Like, I try to be sensitive to the people who have been waiting a really long time, because we have it. Like, just like with The Last of Us.
Yeah.
We got the remaster. Well, you got it as a gift, right?
Yeah.
So we played it, and then, like, part 2 came out not long after. And so those people who had been waiting years for a part 2 to come out, we were only waiting a little while.
Yeah, we only had a couple of years to wait.
Yeah, if that, right? When was it?
Yeah, because the second one came out in 2020, and I got the remaster. Yeah, it might have only been the year before.
Yeah, it was not. So, like, I mean, hats off to everybody who's been waiting forever. You know, 13 years for Alan Wake Part 2. That's I'm glad that those fans that have been hanging in there for that long are getting this. And I'm really excited for newer fans like us, you know, like the Alan Wake, you know, they deserve to pick up these new fans. They deserve, you know, it's too bad that they got overshadowed by, like, Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that, and some of that, you know, crappy stuff kind of happened upon the release. And they deserve the limelight this time.
Yeah, I mean, Remedy's a good company. Yeah, I hope that Alan Wake 2 does well for them.
Definitely.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of video game companies, I've noticed, have been making remakes of their older games.
It's like the movies now.
It is. Although I think with games it's a good idea, because people that weren't able to play them the first time around, or just hearing about them, are able to play these old games.
Yeah, you know, that is definitely a different thing from movies, is that, you know, like you said, it's an interactive experience. So, as long as they do right and don't mess it up, you know, I think that, you know, people who didn't play the original because it was a long ass time ago, you know, they're gonna enjoy it. They're not gonna, you know, criticize the graphics and stuff like that. 'Cause it's like, well, you know, it's all a remake. You know, it's a remake. Everything's up to date. They're not going to be bored with, like, oh, the graphics suck.
Yeah, because I just recently played the Dead Space remake, and I hadn't played the original, so it's kind of nice to be able to play that game, one that I hadn't played before, and definitely enjoyed it. We've got all the gameplay if you guys want to go check that out. It's a fun game, and I definitely recommend it.
I just wasn't scared enough.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I like the game. I want to finish playing it at some point, but I thought it was going to be scarier than it was.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like VR so much, is because, like, it is scary. When you're, like, really immersed and you feel like you're in there and, like, something will, like, pop out and grab you, like, it's a whole different feel. And it's fun. Like, I played all of Resident Evil 7 in VR and the DLCs, and I was in VR for like 11 and a half hours. Oh no, I didn't wake up. I was like, it was like overnight. In the morning, I took off the headset and I was done. I was like, whoa. I'm all of a sudden instantly tired. You know, because it, like, keeps your mind awake.
Yeah.
You know, keeps your mind working. And then, like, all of a sudden it just comes to this screeching halt and your body just automatically knows, suddenly what time it is, and I'm like, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, I envy your ability to stay in VR that long. If I were to try that, I'd have to have a barf bag next to me.
Yeah, I think it depends what kind of game it is.
Yeah, it does.
Because we played Ace Combat, and that I figured would definitely, turn your stomach. But you did better than I did with it. It took me about 15 minutes to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, it wasn't bad, right?
Yeah, I surprisingly was able to play that game for quite a while in VR and not get motion sick.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's just, I don't know if they came out with a new one or not, but there's no campaign for VR, and that was really stupid.
Yeah.
So, it was a big disappointment, but it was fun to play.
Yeah.
But it was also disappointing that couldn't play the whole campaign in VR.
Yeah. Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah, they were discriminating against us.
Yeah, what the heck?
I guess I was trying to get that guy to come into the light. I really can't stand those guys. They're just... I don't want to waste all my batteries on them.
Right.
And they just buzz around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when you think you have them, then they run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to not bother running after them because it's like, what's the point? Like I was saying, this is really kind of a nice part of the game because there's not a whole lot being said. It's not like you have Alan talking to someone in the game and then narrator Alan talking, and it's or someone else in the game talking. We can actually get some words in now.
Yeah. Yeah, Alan's usually a chatterbox.
Well, I mean, yeah, between, him talking a game to other characters and then him as the narrator, it's it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Guys are relentless. Stuff falling out of the sky. How did the boat fall out of the sky anyway? I didn't see the trash tornado anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It came from Ellen's mind.
Maybe the dark presence wanted to go water skiing.
I did draw that comic though.
That's right.
I drew a comic. And it was, well, you were reading this House of Dreams. And I was doodling, and like I never draw. And I just started doodling, and I was like, I drew the lake and the cabin, whatever, except for the cabin was no longer just a cabin. It was a Sizzler. Just because it's jokes about Sizzler, right? You know? So, I actually think they even, yeah, because Sizzler in the Alan Wake files, there's someone they're talking about going to Sizzler. So, everybody in town is going to Sizzler on the lake, on the island. And Jake is stuck in like some kind of like, I don't know, puddle or hole or something, I guess. And the deer that he hit is like kicking his ass, and like everybody's like, oh, ha, Jake thinks he's going to Sizzler. Like, he's not gonna make it. But I don't know. And what we have, Cynthia Weaver? No, it's not Cynthia Weaver. Barbara Jagger. She pops in, and then I added a new character. Alan Wake has a cat, the regular Alan Wake. Mr. Scratch has a demon cat, and he's like, why do I have to work for Mr. I don't know. Just whatever was pouring out of my weird mind at the time. Who else was in there? We didn't get Tom Zane in there, though.
Yeah.
We were starting to. We were going to give him the Canadian head.
That's right.
From
South Park.
And yeah, because you know, to the sports I've been, he's Canadian.
Yeah, so he's got to have the bouncing head.
Yeah.
We also did a Photoshop image of Zane as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. You know, sometimes when we're working,
we have a bit too much fun.
Yeah, and I think it's like when things are getting mundane and you're getting, you know, frustrated or just kind of it's like really feeling like work, we'll just kind of spin off and do something fun or funny, whether it's making a weird poster or making like just silly Photoshop images and things, or videos. Okay, we have a couple of Resident Evil Village. Those ones might be embarrassing. I don't know. I mean, like I said, you have to accept party humor, and there's a lot of outhouses. And, you know, sometimes Ethan's gotta go. Why am I even saying this stuff? People are gonna unsubscribe.
Or we might get more subscribers.
We should like have like a dedicated channel to that.
We should.
To all of the weird stuff that we love. Yeah. It's an outlet. I got myself crushed by that elevator once.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think it's like the first time I played or something. I like, yeah, I'm not like the light kid. I'm standing in the light because like there was some guy coming after me, and all of a sudden like the elevator just went on top of me, and I died.
It's like something I would do on purpose.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah.
After Zane had gone, I stood alone in the shifting dream that was the dark place. I had to find a way to the cabin. I'd written myself a way through this place in the manuscript. I followed the idea of a path. I'd written myself across the ocean that blocked my way, and with that, there was a bridge to the island beyond. The idea of the cabin flickered in the underwater darkness. I willed the cabin to be real, and it was.
turn back now.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, right? Yeah. Yeah, Alan has the clicker, so he doesn't have to be afraid. And the flare gun.
Do as you're told.
Okay, a terrifyingly strange dive into the dark depths of an artist's mind. See?
Yeah.
And then after it says the cast, then it says a dark place and not a lake production.
Yeah, that makes sense what you were saying about it being a construct of the mind rather than actual place.
A pinprick of light in an ocean of darkness. You know, in the, which one was it? Which one of the comics was it where it talks about Hartman? He's still alive. He survives, the attack, or supposed attack. And there's, like, excerpts in there from Alan. It's like, well, okay, how does Alan know he's still alive, right? So we know that I don't know how to explain it. I guess we just, like I said, Alan, he's omniscient. He knows everything. He really does. I mean, how could you know the details of Rose and Rusty's personal life, or other people for that matter? There's manuscript pages that are found in Alan Wake files that he wrote, but were never made it into either the final draft, or, you know, they were just. I failed. I mean, it makes me wonder how that affected things, though. The manuscript pages that were just lost. And, some of them washed up from in the water. Some of them were found in weird places. I think Langston said that he saw some online.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
People claimed them to be, you know, the real deal, and they posted them online, and it was really dark stuff, he said. And in Alan Wake files, they did have a couple of them that they, you know, that they posted, or that they put in the book for us to read. And it seemed as though, like, yeah, like, some really bad things were going to happen, but it was almost as if Alan intervened, because it turned out like a bad situation ended up, you know, going a better direction. You know, like someone's certain death was prevented in some kind of mysterious way. So you just have to read it. I mean, I really wish that would have come with every copy. But then we downloaded Alan Wake PlayStation Store. So the digital download. But then, of course, I had to get the collector's edition because I'm like, oh, I can't miss out on everything else. And so, and then come to find out later, you can still get Alan Wake files, PDF. But I'd rather have the book, though. The book's nice. Talks about a lot of stuff. A lot of interesting details that, you know, kind of make a big difference in a lot of ways.
Hell!
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
She looks scary.
No.
Everything's fine. You're home.
It wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear of the dark.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, honey, you're still 1 foot in a dream. You're not making any sense. Come back to bed.
In the first Alan Wake, or the original game, there's like nothing in his bathroom, but like I think maybe one toothbrush or something. I don't know. It was like everything's so bare.
At least they had toilet paper in there.
Yeah, they don't have a dryer though. Oh look, there's Barbara Jagger.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Departure is your best work yet. You're a genius. I'm so proud of you. Come back to me. We'll talk more about it in the morning.
Yeah, it's so creepy. I didn't notice that the first couple times I played, but you could see Barbara Jagger.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you said something, but it's kind of one of those things now you can't unsee it.
I know, right?
Come back to bed, Alan.
Come back to bed, Tom.
It's funny how they put like the clicker like right by the TV remote control.
Yeah.
That's what you call the TV control, right? The clicker. I'm gonna flip the channel on you. And here comes the breather.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light. Don't mind him. He's Mr. Your friends will meet him when you're gone.
Why would you want your friends to meet him?
That's kind of messed up.
Zany. I don't know.
Use the clicker.
Like I said, I never liked the Zane character.
Yeah.
He's sketch. I'll have to explain it in a video sometime. I think I have some pretty good reasons for not liking him. You would think that not, like, you wouldn't have to use all those words, but it actually helps to keep the darkness away for a little bit. So you can do stuff like, you know, use the phone or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if the Tom Zane character isn't a product of his, you know, of Alan's imagination or something, then what's in it for him?
I'm not sorry. I'm in love with someone else.
Alice? No, what are you saying? You can't.
You don't love me. How could you? You even love yourself. All you do is torture yourself with work that can't do anything.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice? It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened. I had written myself across the ocean.
It's kind of a random situation that they put.
You're not my Barbara.
That conversation.
I promise to be good. Please, untie me, you naughty boy. I will help you reach your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Put that knife away, Thomas. Put it down.
It's filled with darkness. Cut it out. Take her back to the depths of Pedro. Filled with darkness. I will the cabin to be real.
Get away from me, you hag! Where am I? Let me go!
Alice! Alice! I'm coming!
Your husband refused to do as he was told. All he had to do was write what I wanted him to write. Now it's too late. It's his fault. You'll stay here forever.
What's interesting about that, when Alice is saying "get away from me, you hag," is like, according to the FBC, she was caught in threshold. Can't talk. Threshold, and so there's the old hag and the threshold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to try to like figure out and unpack between Alan Wake and Control.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, which thing happened? You
Right,
know?
yeah.
This is good stuff right here.
Now you will never get her back.
I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
And everything happens so fast, but there's some like really cool details in there. Like you can see like multiple Allens. You know, remember I showed you? We have pictures of that, and you can see on Barbara Jagger, you can see the mask. So we'll just have to show those still photos.
Yeah, those are cool pictures.
And there's one picture too where Alan, like, his face changes and that, like, net is over his face and his eyes are all weird and stuff. Like, you really have to capture you have to, like, hit the screenshot button over and over.
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Alan? Alan?
Yes, and the bridge is back. We see that. All new stuff going on here. Now, what I always wondered about this part is, like, are they like the survivors? Are they celebrating the survival of whatever Deerfest is for, I guess? Have to watch this part really carefully. Poor Rose. And Nightingale.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
I had a lot of thoughts on this game. It's fun to think about. I mean, I don't know. What about you? Like, I know that you haven't played as much as I have, but, you know, a lot of people are really into, like, you know, the lore and trying to figure out, you know, what's what and who is who and, you know, what certain things might mean. And like I said, I think a lot of stuff is going to come out in part 2. Like, you know, Like Deer Fest.
Yeah.
Freaking Deer Fest thing is driving me crazy. It always has since the first day I played the game. It's like, where's the deer stuff? They have fishing stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They have the magician and Bucktooth Charlie and like all the things that sit on that sign, but there's no deer things. And it always bothered me for some reason, you know?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the only deer thing they have is the float.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they celebrate, I don't know. And they have Moose Fest in Watery. But then I noticed that a lot of, they said a lot of people go missing, right?
Yeah.
Barry said that. So a lot of people go missing, but then there was like only a few missing persons posters. I think I'd mentioned that before, maybe in one of our last videos. There's only like one with some campers. It seems like they try to attract a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that, and they're like, well, we want to try to beat Moose Fest, turnout kind of thing, and so it seems like a lot of the people that come there to go camping and stuff go missing. So
yeah.
I don't know. And then there was the lighting of the candles and the church service. I don't know. I think Deer Fest just seems like some kind of like thing almost that they have to do every year for some reason, like to keep themselves safe or something.
Yeah.
From, I don't know, maybe they have some rivalry with Watery or something, or they have to, provide a certain number of sacrifices or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's that part is strange to me. Even though seems like it has very little to do with Alan Wake himself. Like it's kind of like a side thing or something.
Yeah. But I think Alan Wake 2 will shed some light on what that's all about.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, but it's been kind of fun to put the puzzle pieces together between Alan Wake, Control, the Alan Wake files, and then the DLCs as well.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about. Yeah. But anyway, again, we enjoyed this, and we hope to see you back in our other videos.
Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, want to see more like it, if you're not subscribed, please do.
Do it.
Hope to see you guys in the next one. Darkling Alley, out.
Out.